Hello, and thank you very much for joining me. My name is Lorraine Appleyard, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about becoming a medium. How do I become a medium? Can anybody become a medium? These are the questions that I most commonly face, that most commonly people will ask me about mediumship. One is, how can I become a medium, and can everyone do that? And so this is a fair question. I I will respond that if you are interested in mediumship, if you are interested in developing your psychic, your spiritual abilities, then absolutely there's a reason for it. That's what I believe. So I believe that if you are wondering if you are a medium, then the likelihood is that you probably are. For myself, I grew up with mediumistic abilities. I was always very intuitive, and I interacted with spirit, and I didn't know that that's what it was called, mediumship. I didn't have that understanding. And it wasn't until really many years later, decades later, in fact, that the word medium came to me. So if you are looking to understand mediumship or wondering if you are a medium, then there's a reason for it. And so then the next question is, well, how do I develop myself? And is it true that anyone can be a medium? So really, everyone has spiritual abilities. We are all comprised of the same aspects, we have the same constituents within ourselves. We have the same physical anatomy. That includes having a pineal gland, which is part of our physical anatomy, but yet there is a spiritual aspect to it, and it helps open up to the higher gateways, a higher consciousness, the higher realms. And of course, we have our non-physical body, which is our soul, and our energy fields and the meridians that are part of the subtle energy bodies. And so we all have that. Now, how that may manifest our spiritual bodies, that may differ, and our soul's abilities can differ also. But we are able to refine those abilities and to develop them. And so, yes, everyone to a greater or lesser degree is able to be a medium. And in fact, if you even think about your higher self, if you're brand new on this journey, you may not even be familiar of what your higher self is, but your higher self is truly a higher aspect of your being that is in connection to the divine, connection to source, and as a result connected to all the higher beings and higher realms. However, that connection between our higher self and our lower mind is not the same for everybody. And that can be strengthened and developed with certain practices. And one of those practices is learning how to meditate, learning how to quiet the mind. And as we learn to meditate, we start to stimulate our subtle bodies, and we start to open up the energy blockages. We start to be able to connect more with our soul, and as such be able to connect more with our higher self. So everyone is able to connect with their higher self, but some may be to a lesser degree than others. And your soul path, we have a karma and we have a dharma. So how great you're able to develop these qualities will remain largely upon different factors. One is the amount of time and effort and discipline that you put into developing these qualities. And the other aspects are, what is your karma, what is your dharma, what is your level of consciousness, how far are you able to grow it, what lessons is your soul working on in this particular period of time, and what is your soul journey about. Of course, we do have free will, so there are some parts of that that are mutable, but just to keep in mind that, I like to use the analogy that everyone can learn to play the piano, but we're not all going to play in a concert, in a symphony. Keeping in mind too that we have divine timing in play. The timing, the will of God is always a factor that runs behind the scenes, and we don't know what that factor is or how it will manifest. But timing does play a role. The reality is that we live we have a human experience, and as such, we're also connected with other humans that are having a spiritual experience, that are spirit but having this human experience. Meaning, we have people that we're incarnated with. Our journey is very much intertwined with their journey, and and timing is of paramount. So what may not be right for you now in this particular moment doesn't say that a year or 2 or 5 or even greater that moment may change. Now, it's our human selves that want to say, I want everything now. I want it yesterday. That is very much a human experience. And, and guilty is charged because I am also having a human experience. So I can just say that I relate to wanting to have everything now. But it is a process of unfoldment. And keep in mind that that also acts as a safeguard, okay? Because there is a maturity that comes along with developing our spiritual self, and that maturity has to be grown. So there are safeguards involved with our spiritual journey, because if suddenly we all just started to develop these spiritual abilities of manifesting, creating out of thin air, of being able to achieve certain feats, then we may not have the right refinement within our ego in order to be able to handle all of those abilities. And so there are other things that are always behind the scenes too, that we don't have to necessarily be aware of them, but when we're taking things into our full assessment, they do play a role. And so always be gentle with yourself on this journey, because there is the work that we do as individuals, and there's the work that occurs behind the scenes with spirit. And and so there's those two aspects that are occurring that, one doesn't necessarily happen without the other. But they work in conjunction, and so there is, I believe, a will there of the divine that plays a role in how things unfold or doesn't unfold. So if you're looking to start out, I would always strongly encourage to learn to meditate. That's number one, to learn how to quieten down the monkey mind. And start to learn how to spiritualize your daily life. So when I talk about spiritualizing yourselves, that means talking about making prayer a part of your everyday life, not just for when things are bad, but all the time, rising and praying and giving gratitude. Gratitude is huge on your spiritual journey. Looking to pray throughout the day, looking to connect with spirit throughout the day. These are all important aspects for developing ourselves, for spiritualizing yourself, because the more that you grow your soul, the more that you're going to be able to connect with it, to allow yourself to become that. So look to where you can spiritualize yourself. I like to always have candles burning. Candles, to me, remind me, help me connect with the divinity, help me connect with spirit. So I usually will have a candle burning throughout the day. Even just having the LED candle, the flickering flame battery operated ones, that still serves a purpose. I will have candles burning all the time. Look to create a safe space for yourself, a spiritual space, whether that be a corner of a room, or if you're lucky enough to have a whole room, or maybe even building a space outside for yourself where you can meditate and sit alone and connect with yourself and connect with spirit. Journaling is an important aspect that helps you connect with yourself, that helps you connect with your intuitive self, and it too will help you uncover things that you weren't fully aware of. So look to see where you can implement journaling into your life in order to be able to help grow your soul. These are all things that are very important on our spiritual journey, and if you're looking to understand more about mediumship and to step out onto that path, these are absolutely the first steps. You may be interested in crystals and gemstones. These help you sort of subtly affect your auric field, which can help transform your sort of state of mind, your energetic being. So you may be drawn to crystals. These are very helpful to help spiritualize yourself also. And reading spiritual work, reading scriptures, that will help elevate your mind, help to refine yourself, and help to really tune in to the higher realms. Whenever we set the intention to understand more about our soul and to spirit, the higher beings do work with us. Reach out to them in your thoughts, with your prayers, reach out to them with your heart and ask them to help you, ask them to work with you. Of course, everyone has spirit guides and angels. So take time to connect with your spirit team throughout the day, looking for guidance, asking for signs, and being aware of synchronicities. And so really being mindful of what's occurring in and out your days will help you on your spiritual path, and it will help you on your mediumship journey. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I thank you very much for watching. Once again, my name is Lorraine Appleyard, and please do hit a like, drop a comment down below. Your comments help me bring content forward. So if you have a question, don't hesitate to ask. If it's resonated you, please do share it with me. And I'd like to wish you all many blessings, and may you walk with spirit. Bye for now.